Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Cynnnical. So today's video is going to be a little different from the usual. A few days ago I tweeted out saying, would you guys want to see some sort of real life stories from me? Just different stories that I have from different experiences, funny moments, etc. And the response seems pretty good. So I suppose like every so often, I'll just, do the occasional story video. Hopefully you guys like them. It's more of like a way for you guys to sort of know more about me, I suppose you could say. So anyway, today's story is going to be about probably the world's worst robber. And this is a pretty hilarious, slash disgusting sort of video. Disgusting in the sense like, not like violent disgusting, but what he sort of did was sort of, yeah, disgusting. So, the story starts where, basically, I was living like over in a different city. I was living at the beach. And what happened was, my parents ended up buying a house in a different city, like an hour away. So what happened was, my parents ended up buying this house, but they ended up renting it out for a year. So we lived over at the beach. We continued to live over at the beach for another whole year while we had this other house in this other city rented out. So it finally came to the end of that year, and we decided, okay, well, we're going to, get rid of, the tenants inside the house that are currently renting the house, and, yeah, we're gonna move into it. So what was happening is, we were in the process of basically going between houses, just slowly shifting our shit over from one house, to another. So one day we, basically came to the house in the other city, not the beach, but the one that we were moving into. And it had been left like empty for probably about 2 weeks. So what happened was, we're going through the house, we're just putting like a few boxes inside the house and stuff like that. And our dog comes running through the house. Our dog just like came running through the house. And we could smell this like really awful smell, like this really strong, like stinky as fuck smell. Like it was really, really bad. It smelled like spew or vomit, or like shit. Like shit, spew, or vomit, right? It was really, really bad. And we were wondering, like where the hell is this smell coming from? It can't be the dogs, because like we just recently washed the dogs, so like where the hell is this smell coming from? And it was every time that like our dogs were around us, so we like looked at the dogs to see like if there was anything, up with the dogs, right? To see perhaps like the dog had taken like a shit or something, and the shit was like stuck to his fur or something like that. I don't know, because that happens, right? And one of our dogs had like brown stuff all over it, like everywhere, as if like he rolled in shit, which was absolutely disgusting. And it turned out that it was shit. So anyway, that was disgusting. I was like, okay, he must have just like rolled in his own like crap. That's gross as fuck. But anyway, so I went outside, I went out to the back, and I saw like all this ripped up paper, which I found, a little bit weird. The house had been like left for like 2 weeks, no one's living in it, so why is there like ripped up paper? And I got to look at this ripped up paper, and it looks to be like, like junk mail, just mail, or, whatever. And I look at this mail, and on top of the mail, there's a brick. So I'm like, okay, what the hell? So I lift the brick up, and I lift the brick up, and underneath the brick, dude, I am not even joking, there was the biggest shit. Like, the biggest, grossest, like, I was gagging at the time. I lifted it up, I was like, holy shit, like, I was ready to fucking, like, spew my load out. And all over sort of the paper that was scattered around this brick, and the paper that was also under the brick, it had, like, smudges of shit, like, all over the paper. Like, someone had literally taken a shit, and then wiped their ass with it. Which was the exact situation, guys. I'm not even joking right here. It's absolutely foul. It's absolutely disgusting. So we were like super confused. We were like, okay, well, this can only mean that an actual person, you know, obviously took a crap in the back of our yard while we obviously weren't, you know, no one was in the house for like 2 weeks, because there's no way like an animal could come into your backyard, take a shit, and then wipe its ass with, you know, ripped up, you know, like newspaper and ripped up letters and stuff, then put a brick on top of it. Like, come on, like, alright, we don't have feral beasts like that where I live, so, you know, so anyway, about like half an hour later, the neighbors came to us, and they were like, yeah, we got robbed this morning. We were burglared. They took a whole lot of our stuff, like including TVs, clothes and stuff like that, and they even stole our car. And so we put 2 and 2 together. This is what actually ended up happening. Obviously, this robber, or the guy who ended up you know, robbing our neighbors, obviously what he did was, the night before he robbed the house, because he robbed their house early in the morning, he obviously came to our house. He camped out in our house for the night, because I would say that he'd probably been watching our property and their property for some time, knowing that there was, you know, obviously nothing in our house to like take because it was empty. He thought that, oh, okay, this would be like the perfect place to sort of stay watch on the neighbor's house to see like when they leave for work. So what he did, he ended up actually coming into our property. He camped the night out at our house. He literally took the mail that was in our mailbox. At some point during the night, he probably needed to take a shit, so he took a shit. He found a brick, cause like we've got like sort of like the concrete paling is sort of loose, and there's like a few loose bricks, so obviously there were a few loose bricks over there. So what he did, he took a shit, he wiped his ass with ripped up like newspaper and like our letters that were in a mailbox, and he took the shit, wiped his ass, then put a brick over the shit, right? So that like when the people that came home, which was us, didn't really notice it, which we ended up noticing it because our dog somehow like rolled in it, because there was some like around the brick somehow. I've got no idea. But anyway, yeah, he camped out in the house, took a shit in our house, and then waited until the neighbors left for work. They ended up robbing the house once the neighbors left, took their shit, stole their car. But the funny thing is, it's sort of funny. It's sort of funny. I mean, it's not really funny laughing at people getting injured, but I suppose it's karma. They ended up robbing the car, like I mentioned, and around about 3 hours afterwards, they ended up crashing the car downtown. And to cut a long story short, the neighbors ended up getting their car back. It was severely damaged, they were insured, and they were all good. Otherwise, guys, I thought I'd tell you that story. It's absolutely, like, gross, yet so hilarious. Hopefully you guys got a laugh out of it. Some people these days, right, like, literally, like, what even? Like, taking a shit in someone's yard, then wiping, you know, their ass with our mail? Like, please, boy, and then going to rob a car and crashing it? I don't even know. It must be like the worst robbers ever. But otherwise, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. It's a little bit different. And if you want to see more of these sort of stories from me, then let me know. Otherwise, guys, I've been Cynnnical. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. And until next time, guys, I'll catch you later.